The old Agbogbloshie onion market and scrapyard, once a bustling hub of activity, now lies in ruins. This site was demolished on July 1st, 2021 as part of the Let's Make Accra Work initiative led by the former Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Korte. But 3 years later, what has become of the land and the lives displaced? Yakubu is one of the victims of the demolition exercise.
Soldier for police, watermen, doctors. Oh, I ambulance, I'm doctors. Ambulance.
Most of my friends have died. Overthinking has killed them. Most of them have taken to drugs, and a few others have gone mad. This is because they can no longer make ends meet and they feel like their lives are retrogressing. No job, no place to lay your head. All our belongings were destroyed. As I live and speak to you here, I have nothing anymore. No money. Meanwhile, this work that the government does not regard used to afford me the means to feed my 2 wives and children. Now I have zero. Because of this, many of the boys have died. We have been here for a while. Most governments just leave us to ply our trade in peace. But this government decided to move us.
No matter much, I dare man say, somebody see her. Somebody and Tiasia. Kumayawana ye Juman so ba no jam ye Jumani be because all right. Says Omobano says Omoguiano, Omascate inano. Says a foreigner for no, Omabe Jumani free and sem.
Yakubu's story is one of many. These scrap dealers maintain that they were not supposed to be parts of the demolition. The shock from the displacement has driven many of Yakubu's friends to madness.
Mimi dan fofo.
O se won fa so ewu.
O bebi da wu. Adwendwene. Wo wu bebi da bodam. Sese na kan boys na kan sese no. Ono tramo o otimi gina ba fa ko no oda because oni baby aboko.
Yes ejuma na moye na mo egu ni nti.
Yes, magu. Baby no.
They did not even inform us. They only put up a signboard here that we could not read. And now that they have destroyed our lives, we don't even know what they are doing with the land. When you go to Tamale, all the beautiful houses you see are the product of scrap dealers.
And a toilet, and a wall.
Now this place has been turned into a refuse dump, a toilet for the community, and breeding grounds for snake and other reptiles.
Abu shares the same sentiment. He too used to sell onions at the old onion market.
Omasai market, ya affect. What I say? Yesika nyinashi. One will say, boys be brave no more.
We were all affected. All our money was lost in that demolition exercise. That day when they came, they spoke to our elders and assured us that there was a place for us at Ajen Kotoku. Most of the boys you see wandering about here used to sell onions. But now there is nothing to do. But we have a strong customer base here at Agbogbloshie. This is where we make the most profit. We are all broke now. I used to sell as much as 3,000 or 5,000 cedis in a week. But now I can barely make ends meet.
Met me sometimes met me anye 5,000, 3,000 going. But say one say yes sorry wa sika nyina asa.
I'm standing in the middle of the 80-acre land, which used to be the old Agbogbloshie onion market and scrapyard. This land was reclaimed by the government about 3 years ago, July 2021. The government mobilized bulldozers and military personnel to demolish this place in an exercise led by the former Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte in what they call Make Accra Work. Now, he said that this was efforts towards building a modern health facility here under the Agenda 111 initiative. But 3 years down the line, and it begs the question, was this a wild goose chase? Remember that this place used to be described as one of the filthiest places in the world, or the 1 out of 10 most filthy places in the world. And so if the aim was to rid this place of the filth, what we see here today makes no difference. In fact, it's a sharp contrast because people still use this place as a dumping site for refuse, and people defecate here. Taking a walk through here has been hell because all you see is rubbish, stench, and filth.
Habibu weighs in on the effects of the demolition exercise, and like Yakubu and Abu, his life has been turned upside down.
I just come and sit down. We are here before. One day, cycle to Kotoku and Dominasi.
Were you an onion seller?
Yes, I'm an onion seller before. Okay. But now I have nothing to do. We turn back to the Okada. This is my bike, who I was using, taking the passengers, the delivering and go come. But before the time we was here, I have fiscal money to send money to Niger and buy onions and sell it. But now we can't do it. We are always sitting down. The small money that I have, I used to buy motorbike and use it to do my rounds and look at my children and my wife. Money.
But before then, on the onion side, how much were you making?
Oh, I can make much money. I have much money that time because I have like 100,000 cedis.
What?
But now it can reach 330,000. It can reach it today. I'm telling you right. Because before I can use my money 3 million, 4 million sefa to Niger, Agadez, and buy onions and bring it to sell it. That time the transportation also is not going high. It's small, but now we can pay the transportation. I started to go 2-3 times and to Kotoku, and the money started going down when I stopped.
Why? What's wrong with Kotoku?
Kotoku, people, the customers have not come in there. We have so many Konkomba and Dogomba people at Agbogbloshie market here. They say they don't have a transportation to come there and buy onions and come back. So some of the customers today take the money, run away. We don't know why we can see them. So I come back to the Okada. Some say they want to build it to hospital and police station, but still we don't see anything here. There's only bola that bring it here. Then pull. Look at the back here. Oh, it's a bola. Even this one, I was sitting there where the car came, the bola. They throw the bola over there. The car moving there. There's nobody say something to them. But if they say we to come back, I would like it. I would like we to come back here. Because so many of our children who supported me to selling the onion, now we don't know where they are. Before we have so many boys here. They are sleeping in the market and guarding the onions for us. But now some go back to village, they don't come. Plenty when they don't come back. So we don't know how to do. We are always sitting in the street.
As part of the redevelopment agenda, the government relocated these traders to Ajen Kotoku. But there too, there are issues. That is why a few of these traders have returned to Agbogbloshie. Salia is one of such traders who have returned.
Sisiano, I didn't know Mompamu Yahono. No Museo Muhia Assassino, Mundu Bayadi. Into your mama place or Aje Kotoku. Yanya sometime be and a koshe or no see only a kama. And I call her. But I didn't see I yes we a bedginas, ye buy your bestia. On say obi o pe 10 cedi ana 5 cedi ana 20 onto me faka e mba je Kotoku no mbeto ntina yesu ye ka wa ha
but see mojuma na tena wo ye wa ha ni se na first wo ye wo honom no difference wo.
The issues there at Ajen Kotoku are the reason I have returned. There are people who just want to buy 10 cedis or 5 cedis worth of onions. They cannot travel all the way to Ajen Kotoku for that. Same as if you are selling onions at different places in town. People will only go to the nearest available spot. Compared to when we were here, it was the go-to place for everyone in Accra to get affordable onions. The sad part is that the land is lying waste. There is nothing happening there. They could have at least waited till they were ready to use the place. Now, we are only surviving.
Onion market.
Now, despite the abandoned nature of this yard, which has been turned again into a dumping site, it would interest you to find out that the old Fadama Clinic, which is the only structure within the yard, is still a functioning hospital. Although part of the building has been abandoned, they have reduce their activities to a smaller part of the building. And hospital authorities tell me that the only hindrance to their operations is this wall, which prevents patients or hinders patients from entering or directly accessing the building. So patients coming to Old Fadama Clinic have to trek to the other entrance before they can come into the hospital, which is a major hindrance to their operations here at Old Fadama Clinic, the only structure within the abandoned former Agbogbloshie Onion Market and Scrappy Yard. Thomas Nelson works here at Old Fadama Clinic, and he tells us the challenges that patients go through to access the facility.
Our main problem is our main door has been closed. They block the wall. If patients are coming in, they can't get access to come in unless they go 1 kilometer before they can enter. The car cannot enter inside. That's our challenges we are facing here. So the main wall has to be open for patients to be coming in easily.
So it means that when patients are in crisis or in a state of emergency, they still have to be, how does that work?
They have to go back, or they will go straight to our main hospital because they can't come in. If there is an emergency, they can't come in. Or the way has been blocked, so they can't come in.
The scrap dealers still maintain that they were not pre-informed of the demolition exercise, as they were the most affected victims. Most of them were moved to Agbogbloshie and Dominase, where they've been over the years. But some have found a different location for their trade, right here in Agbogbloshie.
I'm standing in the heart of another bustling scrapyard, which is about 800 meters from the reclaimed 80-acre land that used to occupy, or which about 8,000 scrap dealers used to occupy, and the former onion market here in Agbogbloshie. These scrap dealers do not want to speak to us. They said they are really pained that the demolition was not necessary. First, they weren't informed. Second, most of them lost their means of livelihood. And third, they have to squeeze themselves here in this small space in order to ply their trade.
The grand vision of a modern health facility under the Agenda 111 initiative and redevelopment of this Agbogbloshie Old Onion Market remains a distant dream. The land, now a shadow of its intended glory, symbolizes broken promises. But what does the current regional minister, Titus Glover, have to say about this?
One Agenda 111 would go there, then because where they are is not all that spacious. The Agbogbloshie Central Municipal Assembly. So you need a more bigger space that they can have their offices and other structures to make sure that they can live. So for that land, that is what I know is going to be meant for. I don't know the exact size of the land itself. I know it's quite big. But these two key offices know what they wanted to do on that land. And even that, we need to put a gate.
Because my team informs me it's about 80 acres.
80 acres. 80. So that is what I know. They need about 10, 12 acres or something to do all these things separately to make sure that they can function. So we need to protect that land because I'm told now they are throwing rubbish into the compound. And we need to put some fence, what do you call it, gates, so they cannot walk through and back and all that. So it's a matter of looking for money too.
Again,
before Henry Korty took them away, the scrap dealers were protesting that they were not properly informed for them to follow the onion sellers to Agbogbloshie and all that. So we have plans to come back, but I believe in sensitization. I don't want to behave in a way that will make, should I call it, my work very difficult for me. First of all, I need to engage these scrap dealers and let them know that where they are operating from is not the best. It is a typical eyesore. So when I come in engage you and let you know that you were asked to move to Agyen Kotoku, and the fact that you have come back, it means that you want to be lawless. I'll do that sensitization and let you understand that the way you are going, it is not the right way to go. So when I'm coming the next time, I'll come with force. What the scrap dealers are doing along that stretch, I'll be coming there very soon. So those of them who are watching us, they should be aware that very soon I'll step there. Give me a couple of weeks or two and I'll go to the ground.
So by the time we go for election 2020, in about 2 weeks, a month from now, this situation would have been dealt with.
Trust me.
How are you going to deal with open defecation there?
You see, this is the work of these assemblies. It is not a duty of the regional minister to be doing the work.
But you collaborate with them.
I'm coming there. I'm coming there. I'm coming there. I'm coming there. So the point is that the chief executives must be proactive. They need to be proactive. So sometimes they might say that, hey, the regional minister is there. No, it's not so. It's not so. But I do it in conjunction with all these assemblies. We move together and make sure we go and deal with the problem.
Not too different from what former Regional Minister Henry Korte said. This was indeed the promise.
Apart from this building and one other, we are going ground zero. Everything is going to go. Scrap dealers, we have the opportunity now to move their things. If not, we'll move them. We are not leaving anything here. It will be an exercise in futility if we finish all this and we leave scrap dealers to be here. Then what have we done? Nothing. Very soon, we'll be erecting a fence wall. Once we clear the place to look at the football park, that's what we want to do. Complete ground zero. Then we'll start erecting the fence wall. Then other plans will come in. There are plans for it, certainly, yeah.
The land was cleared, the people were pushed out, and their sources of livelihood burnt in the flames that consumed all they called theirs. But Accra is still not working. So was this a wild goose chase? Sweetie Agbogbloshie's report for Joy News.